Greetings and welcome, friends. Good evening, good morning, good afternoon, good night, and good day to you, I say. Welcome, my sisters and brothers in gaming enthusiasm. We are focusing on some Assassin's Creed today. I'm in a mood. I want to get into this game. I'm fighting off the urge to play other games because this is the one that's like my brain is like, I just need to get in there. So welcome to the madness. This is a project that is involved in many other projects that have more to do with an original book series that I'm failing to write, than it does the actual video games that we're playing. So don't think of this as just a video game long-form live stream. Also, forgive me for teasing and inviting you to participate in other things that I don't show on the live stream very often. I've been struggling with scheduling the whole idea into existence discipline issue. But here we go. Welcome to the madness. I am your host, and this is the game we're playing today. Let's go. I'm going to mute myself and orient myself in where we are in terms of side quest grind and targets on the main list and stuff. So I'm just going to take a moment to poke around and maybe tweak loadouts now that there's a proper loadout system. Today's efforts, I'm not going to I'm not going to upgrade or work on any stuff in the thing until the end, and then hopefully that'll be useful. I want to gather as much resource as possible. We're going to start off by doing resource gathering side quests, and then we'll dive into the actual big deal fights. All right, enough explaining, enough introducing. Let's go.
Fought with honor.
Okay, wow. I just yelled out loud, what? Mostly because this is wild. This path. I didn't realize. I should have checked it first. It's taken us like the legit way. This is the way. I'm sure I could scramble down from here to the river, I bet. In fact, if I like undid this and like got rid of that and like placed a marker right there, I bet we can get a better path. Or at least a more direct one for us. There we go. That was wild. That was actually, that would have been a brilliant exploring. Part of me now kind of wants to go the long way, to be honest. Huh. I'm torn now. Damn. Because that was quite a bit of exploratory, like, cover to, like, ground to cover. That would have gone all the way over here and then down through whatever this was, through this main road that is an area I've yet to fully explore. So dang it. Okay, let's do it. Let's do the long road. Okay. I got too excited after thinking about it. Like, that could be a really fun adventure run. Like, I could do this and stop a lot and, like, you know, grind against randoms. But also, I don't know what level these guys will be. And I guess this is going to be whatever level this is. 21, 22, 23. This is going to be higher level because this zone is labeled 29. But we'll see. But then I'll open up a bunch of the map, and I'll have the opportunity to like stop and see like what things I want to even, like there's peaks and stuff to grab probably all here. But this could take us like forever. And if we just went straight down this way, the rough patch, the rough walk, we'll get to this faster. Oh, now I'm changing my own mind the other direction. Let's go. Let's pursue. Worst case scenario, we can always teleport somewhere close and restart from a better location. I'm gonna enjoy this and try to zen into it. I'm gonna also kind of like mix and match my choices, whether I stop to do a thing, and like if it's a thing that'll be there on the map forever, I'll not do it. If it's like a person, like an NPC on the road that's taking an interest in this aggravating aggro for some reason. Like, there's a Ronin. I'm going to fight this Ronin, probably. Yep.
Something's not right.
Okay, here we go. Ah, dang it. Oh, brutal. Oh my god. Okay. I wasn't sure how that was going to turn out. Okay, so the long way may be tedious unless I choose really intensely to be like, I'm just going to skip past everything and run. Which is a way to do exploring. Like, you just ignore the aggro that you collect and you just haul past it. Okay, before we get any further, I wanted to take a moment for myself. So I'm gonna mute myself. I'm not changing my mind. I'm not gonna look at the map. We're gonna go the long way. I've decided. Here we go. Oh snap, we need to talk about something. This big update that just happened yesterday or something, however it was, it just dropped the thing that everyone, even me, and I've been loving this game without it. I did not make a big fuss. I didn't write a sternly worded letter. But the horse will follow the road now. It's right there. Press A to follow road, which is dope. I'm glad that they added that back in. It's a feature that's been usable in other of the postmodern versions of this game. And I'm like, why the fuck isn't it here? I wasn't mad. I was just curious. And I thought, okay. Like Call of Duty, they decided to take away an already well-implemented feature. And that's within their rights. And maybe that's purely for the psychological joy of not joy, but the psychological purpose of presenting the game in such a way is that even though it feels familiar, it's still a bit of a challenge and requires some adaptation. Otherwise, if everyone got what they wanted and games stayed exactly as the first one that everyone loved, whichever one it happened to be, everyone would get bored and complain about how they never innovate. And it's always the same thing, just newly configured storytelling. So duh, of course they do little weird things like change the way the gunsmith works in Call of Duty and change the way loadouts are presented visually, even though you're functionally doing the exact same thing. People complain that they looked different. And it's like, hello, if you'd be complaining that they look the same if they kept them the same. I'm going to stop rambling. That's the end of my rant. I think something's happening in the game. Let's go. Did somebody sneaking up on me from behind? I could have sworn I heard something. Anyways, yada yada yada. That's fun that they've had. I'm not going to use it right now, but I'm glad that they added it. Right now I want to actively participate in... I'm not doing a routine run from XYZ to ABC. You know what I mean? Oh my god! Oh my god, don't fall off the thing. Don't die off the bridge. Oh my god! Why did I do that? Again, I'm trying to maneuver the road and also not. I'm trying to multitask. I'm not driving it as strongly as I could be. Unlike some people in this game, mind you, I think I probably complained about it in Red Dead Redemption when I first played Red Dead Redemption. But in this game, I find maneuvering the mounted, journeying through the land, following the guide, and not trying to... I used to be a straight line, that was the challenge. Will the game let me or not? It was fun for me to figure that out, and I just sort of wanted to do it, because if I could run from one city to another important faraway city in a straight line, it would save time, right? It's easy. In this game, while that still is true, I just had this debate with myself with this map. I've found the following to also be true. When I am successfully maneuvering through a difficult road path, on the horse, because I'm driving it, it's rewarding. Like, it doesn't bore me. I find it both visually stimulating because the maps and the environments and the lighting is so interestingly beautiful and dynamic. The same place never quite looks exactly the same 2 times in a row. Like, if I ride back and forth from on the exact same path, there's some beautiful, nuanced, sophisticated things going on, so that it just looks dazzling and different each time in each direction, while obviously remaining the same path. Anyways, I'm excited. I'm sure it's like big hubbub news right now that people are like making virulent clips about how they finally fixed this terrible problem that made the game trash. But the game was never trash. This was a feature that was available recently in previous games that was always sort of split in terms of popularity. Some people think that's cheating. Some people are like, thank God I get carpal tunnel syndrome just from trying to get from place to place and avoiding anything happening. I think it's a mixed bag. I think it's great that it offers us the opportunity whilst also making maneuvering through the terrain beautiful, a little challenging, not super duper boring easy, and rewarding in a way that's satisfying, I think. Whereas, for example, I did used to complain that we did not have autopilot on the ground in World of Warcraft because the terrain and the paths were so much simpler and nowhere near as interestingly beautiful and dynamic and rewarding to maneuver through physically. And back then I was a keyboard mouse guy, and you only use 3 keys on the entire keyboard to maneuver, and it was carpal tunnel syndrome stress was crazy. Okay, I'm gonna stop rambling. Let's get back into this game. See what I've chosen the very long path to a place that was right there, right in front of us, but just across the river in an awkward way. So we're gonna see how many random interactions we do or do not choose to engage with. I don't think I'm currently like on high alert wanted levels, so it should be sort of kind of random. Ronin are default out to get you, so that's fun. And I will not fight all of them. I will run away from every other Ronin. Oh shit, speaking of which, I could pay attention. I had muted myself and I had forgotten. I'm going to push through on this exploration and try not to get distracted into rambling babbles. Here we go. I just realized something that I thought would be fun to share. If you do see me putting on autopilot henceforth, it will almost always by default be because I've chosen to hit the weed. I've been reserving hit taking for whenever there is a temple or a shriny bit to pray at. But I may now occasionally take road breaks. Also, I'm about to run out of weed, so then we're going to take a nice long purge. It's a whole story, which I'll talk about someday on my podcast, if I do an April 20th podcast this year, which I may or may not do. All right, here we go.
My
I mourn. Such is the suffering of the curse that befell us, the Fukui family.
What happened here?
The Fukui curse has taken place. A great misfortune. I am starting to think the Fukui curse is a bad sense of direction. What is my fate? No one can help me.
Are you sure you do not need help? I could help you find your way home.
And strengthen the Fukui curse? No. The stars will guide me home. The stars will answer in time.
This poor family is everywhere, and they all show up as like bewildered, lost, and befuddled tradespeople, moaning and bemoaning that some horrible thing has just happened to them, and they always refuse my help. I don't know if I'm doing it wrong. Am I supposed to reject them and then they will take my help? I don't get it. That deer was very stressed out. Get out of here, deer. Get behind me so you don't have to render anymore. Now there's another one in front of me, but it's running free and clear. Look how beautiful this is. Ooh, look at me. Technically, oh no, I guess I now have the, what the fuck is that? What the fuck? Okay, forgive me, but I'm a nerd for the game and the props and the theater stuff, and I made a clip of this because it was that weirdly interesting to me already, which may or may not be a meaningful thing to people. But there's a character, there's an NPC that carries this puppet in a box around and is like dancing, and usually in front of a small audience. It's fucking weird to me to find the puppet in a box without the NPC though. And one of the things that, it's not a critique necessarily. I'm not going to assassinate that guard. Intrusive thoughts come up every time that prompt is there, honestly. Is this a vendor I can vendor it at? Oh, damn it, it's not. What's going on in this town? Are there any vendors at all? Where are we? We're in Ujitawara. Okay, Tawara. One of the things that I wish was true in Assassin's Creed, that if I had been part of the design team from the beginning, I would have tried to work in, or if I, in some future dystopian science fiction setting, could revive and slightly update and retcon a little this franchise of games, I would make it that certain objects like this were interactable, like pick-upable, like not just pick-upable like the way the bombs are and it's a big heavy bum, but like an actual thing that you could use that is usable in the function that it is being used. Like you could pick up musical instruments and use them. If insert name of the other game here can do that, where everyone has a musical instrument if they want, if they find them and decide to play them, and there's some way to do that, I would figure out a way to make that. Whether that's a mechanic of the physics of that object, or some system that is part of the game, or like a music system, so like a prop system, so that they could engage with like, it just bums me out. There's so many interesting objects in this world that are loose and interactable. I can kick them around or knock them over. And it's part of the destructibility of the environment. But I can't grab them and take them home and put them in my space. There is a system for decorating your space in your headquarters. But it's a very like detached from the objects in the game kind of system. It's like a system of invisible objects you never interact with. But then there are these other objects in the game. They're everywhere. Watch me build. Oh no, I guess I can't. Huh. I can't kick this object. Other objects will bounce around and flop like I kicked them. Like, what's going on with that? I'm just being curious. Like, I'm not mad. it's a mystery to me that's part of my enjoyment of how I play games. A lot of people play games as if they were critics in the film industry and trying to find flaws as determined by some consensus dictum of what the genre or the what's the other word I'm looking for? The medium is supposed to be. But video games transcend cinema. They transcend like the visual world that is literary narrative. And they function totally differently than both of them in ways that are not being appreciated, I think, by the very community that it's engaging with it, in terms of when they complain. I'm not trying to complain. I'm trying to say, like, oh, wow, this is something I wish we could do. Are there probably, like, really intensely logical, like, intensely pragmatic, like, hard reasons why we probably can't do some of those things? Yeah. Tea production, and let's open the codex. I also love that there's a codex, and I love reading the stuff, so let's silently, because I'm going to smoke coffee and drink weed, let's look at them real quick. Where's the muting myself? Enjoy. I don't want to sound like I'm just sucking up. I'm not into that. I have always had a deep but not overtly expressed appreciation for all things like Japanese culture and history. I can't call myself like a... You know how there are Anglophiles? I don't know what the equivalent term for people who are like that with Japanese. There must be one, and the nerds of that world must either love it or hate it, and respect to either way. But I like comic books. I love comic books. I do not own a single one. I have this strong affinity for Japanese cultural stuff, like details, art from within, and art about such details and the culture, etc., and the history of. But I can't pretend to like own a collection of Japanese books, or I don't. There's a certain limit to my fandom. I think it might be because I'm a jack of all trades and therefore not a master of any of them. I have too many interests in the realm of fandom. Therefore, I have not been able to, and I guess technically I do not allow myself to delve into the depths of any one of those fandoms to the degree that like the hardcore fans of any one of those communities would consider like someone who says that they're a fan should be manifesting or expressing. I don't know. Anyways, I don't know why I'm rambling about that, except that I love reading about this stuff, even though I don't know very much about it. But I find it I guess I open with a fascinating thing. There's something about that archipelago, the place itself, and the little curious things that I learn about it whenever I do, like this thing about the tea fields. It's just magical. Just magical. That there would be a special little spot where tea grows that no one realized. And that there wasn't already like a standing, living, native plant population of tea plants. That wasn't the place in Japan where they discovered tea. It was the place in Japan where the imported tea plant and its needs were magically met by the land. I don't know. I just like that sort of thing. For any country, any place. When there's something whimsical and cute and specific to that place that leads to a cultural specificity in the way that people live there, culturally, historically speaking, throughout time. I'm fascinated by those things. And in one way, I'm fascinated about those things because I'm fascinated with the process or the challenge of extrapolating from our collection, our cornucopia of cultural histories, into the future, right? Science fiction is a interesting and fascinating and wonderful genre that has inspired so much and led thought in so many ways, but also has so much room to be more interestingly specific and nuanced and diverse when it comes to like cultural inclusivity. A lot of the dominant sci-fi is a sort of top-down empire, a capitalist view of what a global marketplace might become if dominated by and sort of everything gets gentrified and flattened out by the current hegemony. How do you pronounce that word? That seeks to perpetuate itself, which is primarily Western in its Western and ethnocentric, like white ethnocentric, Caucasian ethnocentric. Not to try to build a conspiracy theory, but I'm saying is like one of the wonderful things that, for example, the discourse around a video game like this or a movie like the movies set in Wakanda inspire is a challenging of that which is the default thinking. But like, why is that setting the default thinking so deep that it's controversial to conceive of and explore a sci-fi utopian world that has its taproot origins nestled deep in the African continent? Like, why is that controversial? Why is that offensive to people? Science fiction is about the wonders and the potential horrors. It's supposed to be about sparking the ingenuity of imagination when it comes to Imagineering, to borrow their term, and I don't like that company very much. And there's a whole lot of debate and discourse to be had there, but I also don't blindly hate them. They're just a big giant corporation trying to make money, not trying to excuse it either. But it's funny to me. There's so many layers. And so much of the discourse around that gets distractionary and loaded with things that become increasingly difficult to even consider plausible. But that's a whole other debate. I like what they're doing, I guess, to bring everything back to bring this discussion back to this game. I love what they're doing, and I don't have quite as many like sort of blind stabby criticisms as those that are up in arms about it at a cultural level. I respect whatever opinions are being expressed by people that are actually from this country, especially those who currently live there. And I understand that to also be a mixed bag, a collection of good and not so good reactions. But as an outsider, as someone who's never been there, but as someone who's always been fascinated and appreciated the sampling of cultural and media products that originate from there, I find this content, especially this part that's like about reading through details that they've researched and curated for the player to read if they want. I find it awesome. Like, I love that there's the ability to then just look at a piece of what I presume to be authentic Japanese art from a particular period depicting the subject matter being discussed. Okay. I babbled on long enough. Okay, we have to discuss this. All things being a choice, these were designed, right? I didn't want to startle them. I was hoping they wouldn't even notice me, but they did, obviously, because I got too close. And now I'm in the tea leaves behind them, and they're all staring at me. But they're not going to talk. But what were they doing? There's a pair of people in this beautiful, lush, thoughtfully carved out, and what I presume to be, if not like exact, at least geographically representative in an accurate way. You know what I mean? This is why I stopped to talk about like the nuanced detail of like what they've done. This game is not just presenting us a world that sort of resembles Japan. Like according to headlines I've read in social media, Japanese people are like, this is an amazing way to explore our own country in a way that is, if not an exact replica, a delightful miniature that is very accurate in how it represents the beauty of the places it's representing. I have no way of knowing what's missing and what's been confabulated, but I presume that this place, which is famous for its tea, and it reminds me also of like why certain places might be really good for coffee, etc. It's just like a specific set of geographic like particular geographic qualities. There's going to be good mist and humidity here. But there's also plenty of sunshine because the surrounding hills are not too high. There's going to be lots of fresh air. Won't stagnate because there's a good air flow. Like, I bet if I went there to the actual town, I mean, obviously it wouldn't look exactly like this, but there would be a resemblance that was strong, right? And I'd be able to see, like, this is what was being depicted. There's that river. Here are the hills. And what I think is fascinating and beautiful is that this little old couple that is not going to talk to me, and I do wonder, like, why didn't we just give them some dialogue options? They're here. They were there. They've been there this entire time. They were placed there consciously. I don't think they were just randomly decided. They were randomly assigned this location by who knows? Maybe I'm wrong. But if there's anything I'm willing to kind of give this game the benefit of the doubt, is that it's more likely, if you encounter something interesting and weird and curious in the game, it is way more likely that it was actually crafted and decided upon by people than it is a resulting accident of any algorithmic process, a procedural process, right? Those people were there, and to the best of my understanding, to get back to that analysis, they must have been there to enjoy watching the leaves fall. Like the way East Coasters talk about the turning of the leaves up north, and that is a really big tourist attraction. People in America do not bat an eye and will spend thousands upon thousands of dollars to touristy commute up to the states where there is infamously beautiful leaf foliage color changing, to be seen and to be witnessed at just the right time to enjoy the phenomena that is, fall foliage color change, and when it especially when it falls. And this is a place that already, like, we already read. Oh no, I did it again. I don't want to jump. I don't want to keep jumping off bridges when I'm like babbling and not driving as precisely as I could be. Like they have the Cherry Blossom Festival, like for a reason. That's a beautiful thing. Cherry blossoms are notoriously brief in their appearance. Are these guys gonna get in after me? Or are they just gonna cruise on by? They're just gonna cruise on by. So I just think it's beautiful, right? That's here. Like there will be a moment where I'm sure I will be minding my own business, trying to get on some quest action, or just grinding some side quest thing, or just doing some general exploring, and I will wander through a massive cherry orchard, and it will happen to be perfectly timed with the season, so that I will see like this, this incredible thing that is celebrated. Has been celebrated culturally there for millennia, since whenever it was first truly witnessed by enough people to make it an important thing. Where is this gunfire coming from? Because they are in a fight with someone else? There's also a painty thing. Never mind, I'm gonna do a painty thing. Someone's up there.
There it is. I will need to get closer. Easy now. I must not make noise.
Was it that big giant stag or no?
Not
That
as
was
silent
great.
as I thought.
Oh, brutal! I scared it away. Dang. That bums me out. I didn't know that could happen, but it's also, I'm kind of amazed that it can. Every other time I've just sort of, half-assedly, it sounds like I'm saying acid, not acid, as in like, with half of my ass. Never mind. I don't know why we used to say half-ass. If you're gonna do something, try not to do it half-assed. Oh, that's a skull face guy. Oh. I think these guys are gonna destroy me though. Oh, we're out of things. Oh shit! Look at that! Brutal! I should not have engaged. They warn you that the game does tell you if it's got a skull floating next to its name, don't even try. I was causing damage, but they just one hit smacked me to the ground. Good times. You live, you learn. Win or lose, I always enjoy the game, friends. Clip that, Eclipse. Let's reset. whenever possible, that's how I'm going to do that, like, character swap situation, because it's hilarious and adorable. I'm gonna, like, dive into a haystack, or I can't do it in the little closet boxes because what's his name is too big. Well, I'm gonna have to try it one day to see what happens. I bet he just, like, appears next to it. But anyways, to me, it's some sort of equivalent to when Clark Kent goes running into a telephone booth so that he can be in an enclosed space for some reason, to, like, spin really fast and therefore be not visible, although still a big, by being blurry, and he changes clothes. I always assumed. Do you ever, like, think about that as a kid? Hold on. Let's pause the game for a minute, because it's not exactly a direct correlation here, like Superman's hero costume. What do they call it now in the movies when a character does his, not his glow up, but his change up, his suit up? Superman's, that's not what we called it at least I don't think it was when we were kids. When I was a kid, I don't remember anyone saying Superman's suit up is so cool or whatever. But Superman's suit up, traditionally, I think, in fact, the only time this happened in the Christopher Reeves movies was when they made a joke, because he goes into an American, like, New York City, like, half booth, telephone booth, and it's like, I can't do anything with this, is the visual gag. He, like, goes to find a phone booth. Does he do, like, a real phone booth in one of the other ones? I haven't watched them in so long. I think he does. Or is he in London and he goes into a red box, like an actual British red box phone booth? I forget. I digress. Any other time I've seen it depicted that he's changing outfits, like in the movies in particular, in one he, like, runs into a revolving glass door. Which, if you've never been through one, like a real one, especially like an old one of those ones that was built in the 1800s, 1809 or whatever, and is still in use in New York City, which I have. I've had the pleasure of being in New York City on a couple of occasions, and struggle busting through some heavy, ancient, giant revolving glass doors. Postmodern ones are often smaller and or bigger, but also much lighter and or automated, and they just sort of automatically rotate, and you just kind of have to keep up, and it goes in a slow, gentle way. But the old school kind, you had to push to get it going, and then it would take a lot of momentum to get them going, so that no one could rush anything. It would always speed up, relatively speaking, in the same slow pace that any person can keep up with, and then it would sort of coast for a hot second so that people could, not have to push that hard, and then it would slow down gently. It was all about gear work. I don't know, but that's not what I wanted to talk about. Like, Superman, no matter whatever he's doing, he's going somewhere to be modest. I always thought, right? He's going somewhere so he could disrobe, presumably down to nudity, because I don't think he's wearing human underpants underneath the supersuit, right? And then he's got I don't know where he keeps his supersuit. In one of the movies, they do a shot where it's like it's under his regular human work suit. It's under his shirt. Like, this is classic. The reveal, Superman, like, it's iconic. But then why was he often going, like, just to hide his identity so no one sees him taking off his glasses, I guess? When I was a kid, I always, like, he must go, he becomes a blur because he's moving so fast. He's changing faster than any human could change their clothes, which to me made me think of, like, when you're in gym, like in the locker room in gym class, and you gotta, like, go from your day clothes, your streetwear, your civvies, as some kids in the locker room would say, to your physical education two-piece, weird, flim-flammy, mass manufactured in a prison, probably, PE uniform. Do they still make kids do that? That was crazy. I was like, this is insane. Why are we doing this in junior high? I don't get it. I guess to get us ready for high school, but I digress. So that was at some point. I was like, oh, that's why he spins when he changes into Superman. It's so he can be like really fast about getting off his clothes and putting on the suit, because it's not really all hiding underneath his clothes. But then why does it? What? I'm confused. Anyways, I don't know why I'm rambling about this, except for the fact that I love that we can swap back and forth. Like, Yasuke cannot climb the tower. Like, Clark Kent cannot catch Lois Lane because he should theoretically still be stuck on the office floor, right? So he can get there faster than she falls off the building, but it can't be Clark Kent that rescues her. I'm forgetting it. I'm remembering like either a cutscene or an extended scene or a something scene where he is there on the street as Clark Kent because he happened to have already been on the sidewalk, and he's like blowing to slow her fall, to like help crash her, slow her descent, and then he guides her to like the tarp of the sidewalk, whatever you call those overhanging things that open and close and go away, little shade things, and then she falls and like makes a mixed fruit salad because she falls right on like a produce cart, and it's embarrassing because she's just like covered in watermelon. It's horrible. Okay, that's got nothing to do with this. I want to pull my Superman Clark Kent moment in all the haystacks. Was the point of that? I'm gonna shut up now. Let's get back to the game. Just gonna top off my coffee, friends. I will be right back. Thank you to whoever's lurking on Twitch. When I come back with coffee, we'll do TikTok roll call. So if you're currently in TikTok and you can hear the sound of my voice, stick around. Drop a hello in chat if you want me to spend extra time doting on you, as the social feedback system is designed to work here. And if no one's there, oh well. We'll read the names of the people who stopped by for 30 seconds and left, because that's what TikTok roll call is all about. I will be right back, friends. DJ Zed and DJ Zed have taken the night off, so I'll just leave you here with the lobby music of the save of the inventory area, because sometimes it's pretty dope. It's pretty good little music loop that happens, kind of builds up and then dissipates. Enjoy. Take a moment of zen, and we'll be right back into the gaming action after I top off my coffee. Okie dokie, friends. I'm back from getting coffee. We're going to dive in and continue this present portion of the gaming action, doing a little bit of local exploratory opening up of the map. And then we'll head back to our blacksmith, do some upgrading what did you call it? What is it called? Not customizing. Embellishing? Whatever it's called. Embleming of some of the equipment. And then we'll proceed to go start to slog through some of our main quests to see what we progress now.
Everyone saw that.
Clip that.
Yeah.
That was lovely. And I cannot wait to go equip that on our... excuse me. I had a little frog in my throat. On the Noe character. That was pretty dope. I love just exploring and adventuring. And I would... As much as I appreciate that there is a whole little economy of tips circulating, and there's already people way more, trending... I don't want to say trendy, because that's like a fashionista statement. I mean, there are people going way more viral with their like clips of like, here's where you find this cool stuff in this game, and I'm like, I appreciate those. Appreciate that there's a need for them, but I also love like just finding that stuff on my own and not getting it like spoon-fed to me. And so I don't seek out trying to figure it out to make that part of my content also. Except that it's inherently there. Like, I guess I could make a clip out of everything I've discovered if I were to go back and review by hand all the streams that I've made on the YouTube archive. Because I've made my fair share of interesting little discoveries in the game, and I've been playing it since launch. I didn't have early access, but I've been there since launch. So arguably, I'm not as ahead of the game in terms of hours and things completed as some of the more advanced hardcore pro gamers that have been added since early access, because they were given some cool deal by the publisher and whatnot. But in terms of the general public, I think I'm in the mid-range of like people who know the game pretty well and have achieved a little bit more than what the average player has achieved in terms of built-in achievements and discoveries of stuff. I'm totally acting at the camera like a camera, and it's not really on. And I wish that the different scenes would indicate camera on, camera off with my light, but my camera just lights up if it's being accessed as a thing, which is true if there's a source embedded in a scene, even if it's not currently depicting the camera. Or even if the camera's not in a given scene, because it's in the show, in one of the other scenes, the lights are on. Anyways, blah, 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 blah. What was I talking about? I just found that legendary chest, and I didn't need anyone to tell me where it is. The game gives it away. Like, that was a pretty easy marker to go find. It's not like you could have stumbled across that purely by pure blissful chance, right? You absolutely can. That's the joy of games like this. But also, most of the time, like for example, there's a peak. It's part of a fort. You have to get to the thing. Is this my picture? No. This is an image of the day. Let's look at it big. This is like art. This is not a photo from inside the game. This is concept art. So this is by the publisher, I suppose? I love these photos, these pictures. I love that it's part of the map. Whether it's the publisher or it's some other person. Come on, let's find a person's photo. Well, that's a me photo. Now, the only thing that's weird is I see other photos when I do find them, especially in older games, hundreds of thousands of likes. My photos, 0 likes. Do people just hate me in the world? What's going on? Is my brand tainted somehow? Or am I just shadow banned and am I never seen by anybody? I ask in the purely in the joyful, nonsensical way of like tomfoolery. I'm not taking any of those questions seriously. Where are we? What am I doing? Where actually am I? There I am. I've got an itchy eyeball, and we've been to the samurai shrine or not? Yes, we found the legendary chest. We're very near the samurai shrine. We can, could, should, would head back somewhere. Where were we? We were here, generally speaking. We were going to travel down this way, huh? What goofy things can we do in this direction? Oh, I guess we could just go ahead and go do that one. No, because this is like a crazy high level. This is a level. This is Iga, which is in. Is that? It's that's level 23. Oh, I could handle it. I could handle this. I can go over here and do this thing. that could be a little smoother. The way it hops around. But I don't know if that's because I changed the default setting on dead zones and all that at some point.
This place is on alert.
Fight well, samurai. 血を流せ。
Clip that.
What do you need?
Oh, look, friends, we have another chatbot that is violating terms of service. This is my number one chat activity, which is kind of annoying, but also somehow satisfying. And banned. Did I ban it? Let's ban it. There we go. By insert redacted name here of banned account. That's all I get. These banned, these likely Banivator restricted obvious chat bots posting scripted sales solicitation for a service that violates the EULA and TOS of Twitch. And they're doing it on Twitch. So it's like, ugh. So annoying. Let's get back to the gameplay action and try to disassociate from all that stress. Join me for more of this randomly, almost daily, as well as attempts to do experimental writing live on stream and new arts and crafts segments that will be coming soon once I stop feeling all chicken shit about it. Fun, exciting promo, mini reel. Clip that! Let's get back to the gaming action, friends. Currently live on Twitch and TikTok with Assassin's Creed Shadows.
Go safely.
The fuck just happened? That's not supposed to happen. The horse is not supposed to... whatever they put in the patch that included the awesome upgrade or improvement of being able to auto-follow the path, which is awesome. I will use it about half the time. I will probably start doing what I usually used to do, which is drive there most of the way, and then somewhere along the way give in to the urge to want to drink some coffee and hold it with both hands like a yum warm cup of coffee ought to be held, or stop a moment and spark up the sparky sparks, and you need both hands for that. So auto follow is gonna come in handy. But this is comedy. You're not supposed to have... when the game launched, and I don't know for certain, I haven't read anything that says what they think about this. I just am describing what the game did and did not let me do. When the game launched and up until just this new patch, you saw your horses in the stalls of the stable. And you could not mount them or ask them to show up or whistle for them inside the hideout. I realized, A, there's a delay. B, you can probably hear it in the microphone, so that must be distracting. Let's try and fix the delay. Might be instead of leaving... Okay, you put this headset on and do the mic test. Try and fix the delay. Instead of just turning down the volume. Test. There we go. It's a little better. Anyways, I can't believe this just happened. Horse came tumbling out of this bedroom. It's so weird.
Hello?
Okay, here we go. Serious time.
Thank you. What have you got for me? Hurry back.
Oh, I didn't realize I had the mic wide open. I'm going to take a break. Not a break. I'm going to go get some coffee. Be right back. We're going to go sweep this local marketplace that needs cleaning up of evil bad guys. And then we're going to go try to finish up that fort over there. But first, a brief moment while I go get coffee. Be right back. I just teleported in. There seems to be some sort of ongoing fight right outside my little kukuriga, or whatever they're called. Where am I? Where am I again? Oh yeah, I just unlocked this kakurega in Amagasaki, right next to the Amagasaki castle. I technically want to teleport right over here once I make sure that I'm equipped the way I want to be equipped, and that I've stocked up on everything for all the essentials. And then we'll just kind of work our way and try to finish this sweep of this castle. But I guess I was also thinking about stepping right outside and going towards the lumber aisle. Really depends on, I didn't mean to go to that really. I'm going to go here. It really depends on the mood I come back in. But I'm going to go get coffee and we'll proceed from there in just a moment. Be right back, friends. Gonna go get the thing with coffee. Exciting stuff. Let's get back to it. I did not want to get involved because I could not tell who was who and which side was mine and theirs, and I just I don't want to get in trouble. I'm gonna get in trouble enough trying to clear out this castle. Let's get to it. Castle fort. What is this? What is this? Amagaski Castle or Tenshu. That's a castle, right? Yeah. Okay, we've gotten 3 out of the 5. Let's see what we can do about getting the last 2.
This is enemy territory.
That's it.
You there!
Kill it. And decently.
Sure is nothing. Could someone be hiding? Patience! Huh? Fight well. Take care of you. Didn't have a chance. It's nothing. Someone, please!
Mother Nature calls. I shall return momentarily.
Kill him! I'll see you bleed! You demons! Disappear! Can't do that.
Hey now.
Clip that.
I have waited for this moment.
Not gonna walk away without looting that chest. I think we done did it now, haven't we? We still gotta clean up the thing. Let's go.
I need to stay alert here. am here!
this shape.
Activity. Come.
Look at me!
Hello there.
Go safely.
Okay, I'm going to spend a few minutes nerding out on loadouts for both Yasuka and Noe. And I'm also going to get a cup of coffee because I'm caffeine out. I should probably stop. I totally saw. Talk about weird, strange things. Can I talk about something randomly for a hot second before I go pour myself another cup of coffee? I'm a coffee junkie. I know all about the drawbacks of caffeine addiction. Trust me. So it's funny to me that... Hold on. Hopefully that's cleared up the some of the delay. But I know all about being the problematic issues of being a coffee junkie and how it basically just fries your system and eventually it's meaningless and you might as well not be drinking it. I drink it for the experience of drinking it, not the experience of being caffeinated, although I do also feel I have a problematic relationship with that codependent situation of enjoying that the caffeine does what the caffeine does. And I'm trying to cut back on all that. But it's funny and weird to me that I totally saw a brilliantly written and masterfully performed self-comedy sketch about a crazy doctor visit, specifically on the subject of someone who's burned out on drinking caffeine and should stop drinking caffeine, but instead gets a prescription for 1,000 Red Bulls or something. The universe works in mysterious ways. Because obviously I can honestly say I've been struggling with this for the entirety of my conscious existence. Because I was bottle fed coffee and milk. So I got here already with a coffee problem. America didn't give me a coffee problem. I got here with a coffee problem. What's with the fidgety foot tapping? It's interesting. I just noticed that. Anyways, I'll be right back. Please don't drink as much coffee as I do. It's bad for you. I'm not trying to set an example. I'm just blatantly honest about my situation. I love it. I love coffee. And it's so bad for you. But I love it. And it's also an important thing in the... and some people get triggered by this. But it's an important thing in the global economy. And it's hilarious to me that people who are excited about tariffs are upset that now coffee's going out of control. Price was already crazy. Now it's going out of control. And the same thing's going to happen to cigarettes. Because all the smokers are going to be like, why the fuck are my cigarettes so expensive? And it's they were already getting expensive. And although America does have a whole tobacco thing, most of it's imported. Believe it or not. It says right in the box. Mixed of a mix of local and imported is almost always on the box. But I digress. What am I talking about? I'll be right back. That's what I'm talking about. You don't have any music. I gave DJ Zed and DJ Zed the night off, so silent be right back screen for your pleasure. That sounded terrible. I'll be right back. I have returned. Let's get to it. I already forgot what I was about to go do. Oh, good. The echo chamber has been reset. It's no longer desynchronized. Rock on. Let's get back into the game. Thank you, folks, for visiting and hanging out for a bit. Please be sure to visit solo.to/Mr. Zeppo, as I'm currently involved in juggling a project of way too many different kinds of projects. All of which are way more interesting than long-form video game streaming, but I use the video game streaming as a way to attract audience, to be honest. I'm trying to get some audience. Let's gather around. Okay, let's gather around and see what happens next. I really like that perk. And now that I've discovered that perks transfer, that once you unlock a perk by getting a piece of an item that has it, that you can apply it across the items that it applies. So you can have the same perk setup across multiple loadouts if you want. It's kind of fascinating. This deflect unblockable things, or at least parry them, is awesome. You don't always succeed, but you at least try to parry. And that's so much better than when they used to just like destroy you. It's nice that that perk exists. Although some would say it's broken. I've heard it described on the internet as a broken perk. Check out this broken perk you can find. I've always avoided finding out where to find it. Now I realized, oh, I've got it here. Whoa, it's here. It must have come with. It came with this particular. I don't remember where I found this, but I think it's a legendary loot box that I uncovered. Any hoodles, let's get to it. Where are we? I'm going to mute myself for a minute to try to figure things out and immerse myself. I just got an urge I must satisfy, so I must beg you to please indulge me in your patience a little longer. If you're watching in the not too distant future, please feel to fast forward until after the map goes away. It's always true whenever I announce a break. Whatever screen I leave you on and you're watching in the future, you can just go ahead and scrub on through until that screen disappears if you want. I'll be right back. Okay, let's get going. Oh, I was gonna tinker with my loadout still, so we're not going anywhere. Forgive me. Let's get on with it. Here we go.
What do you need? Thank you.
New horse bug in hideout? Question mark. Clip that.
What have you got for me?
Go safely.
when I looked up just now, it was literally, I looked up at the Streamlabs desktop application live stream clock for how many hours I've been on. 3 hours, 43 minutes, and 33 seconds on the dot. Not anymore, but when I looked up a moment ago, that was exactly what it was. I think on that note, I might wind down. I was going to do more loadout building, but I think I might leave that for the next session. I'm satisfied with where things are currently. I like this loadout system. I also don't mind cross patching or cross utilizing the specific perk. Like that parry unstoppable things, that's really, really fun and useful. And it forces me to focus on learning how to block well, and makes each of these fights a little bit less exhausting in terms of like losing a lot. But who knows, maybe I'll change my mind and reconfigure them later. What's nice is you can reassign the things. They're the little sigils or whatever they are. They're not like limited resources. They're unlocking of the category of thing you can stamp on there, as opposed to an individual instance of a thing you can stamp on your gear. You know what I mean? Which is nice. I like that. So good times. I'm going to take a break and figure out what I'm doing in terms of real life stuff I want to achieve today outside of live streaming. And also what to stream next. 6040, we may come back to do more Assassin's Creed. 6040 or 4060, we come back and it's something else entirely. Or I'm done for the day and I sleep at a weird hour. It's almost 4:20 in the morning. Good morning, world. I hope you're having a wonderful time. Thanks for dropping by and checking things out. If you are watching this, whether you are lurking it live or you swung by and watched the video on demand shelf on Twitch or the archive on YouTube, thank you very much for your viewership. Please do let me know that you watch this. Say hi on the social media. And you can find all my social medias and my Discord server and everything by going to solo.to/Mr. Zeppo and clicking on all the links. Be sure to check out my podcast. There's only a 10% chance you'll find it terribly offensive. It'll just be sort of mind-bogglingly different than what you expect, and then you'll be able to laugh it all off as fiction because it is part of my book series, which is literally action adventure sci-fi set in a dystopian future. So, but I also sincerely mean like 99% of what's going on in any of my content when it comes to the declarative statements about the world. Anyways, I'll stop rambling. I wish you a lovely day. Go